Taste of the real world. I got battered on the North Shore. It gave me comfort when I always knew that. I always knew that you were there for me next door. I lived it hard on the long road. I ran through every single zip code. I get lonely, but I always knew that. I always knew that your heart I could call home, and nothing could ever stand in.
All right, math learners, welcome to our new session here in Math Learning with Sir Ash. This is still your free access YouTube educator, Math Teacher Ash, and today we are going to continue our reviewer series in the preparation for the third grading examination. So, still for this video, we will be discussing 10 questions with solutions and choices, and we will check how to solve every question and explain how to get the answers. All right, so let us go, my dear math learners. So question number 1. Which of the following means that two ratios are equal? Is it A, basic proportionality theorem, B, proportion, C, ratio, or letter D, zero theorem? Your 10 seconds starts now. Okay, my dear math learners, this question is very easy because the definition two ratios are equal is being owned by the term letter B, proportion. All right, so we are correct, my dear math learners. Second question. The ratio of the sides of the original triangle to its enlarged version is 1:3. The enlarged triangle is expected to have, is it A, sides that are twice as long as the original? B, an area that is twice as large as the original? Letter C, sides that are one-third the length of the original? Or fourth, letter D, angles that are twice the measurement of the original. Okay, so 10 seconds for this question. Okay, my dear math learners, the technique here is very simple. The given statement for our problem says that the ratio of the sides, so of the original to its enlarged version, is 1:3. So basically, the original represents the 1 and the enlarged version is 3. Now, the focus here of this statement is the sides. So in our given statements or choices, the letter A and letter C talks about the sides, the letter B talks about the area, and letter D talks about the angle. So we can discard, obviously, our B and D, and we can have A and C as our choices. So in this given choice, of course, as what I've said earlier, it is enlarged. So therefore, it is 3 times as much. And letter C says it is one-third of the length. So letter C is wrong, and the correct answer here is letter A. Okay, let's check whether we are correct. All right. Easy, my dear math learners, right? Now, let's go to the third question. An environmentalist plants a tree. He had to dig 3 feet deep for every 5 feet of tree height. Okay, so if you have a tree that is 5 feet long or 5 feet tall, you need to dig 3 feet deep. Okay, but there is a statement here. How deep should the environmentalist dig if the height of the tree is 25 feet? Okay, so is it A, 15 feet, B, 20 feet, C, 25 feet, or letter D, 30 feet? Okay, my dear math learners, as we know, the given in the statement is the real height of the tree is 25 feet, and you have the ratio 3:5. 3 feet deep of digging for every 5 feet height. Okay, so if your height becomes 25, so if you check and balance what happened to 5, why it became 25, it is multiplied by 5. So, of course, due to parallelism, we will also multiply our deep by 5. So 3 times 5, the answer is 15. So our correct answer here is 15. Let's check. All right. Easy, my dear math learners, right? Now, let's go to the next question. A square picture with a side of 6 centimeter is to be enlarged with a side of 12 centimeter. It means that the side here is doubled. Okay. Which of the following is true? The new picture is 400% larger than the original one. The new picture is 4 times larger than the original one. the scale factor between the original and the enlarged picture is 1 is to 4? Is it A, 1 only, B, 1 and 2 only, C, 3 only, or letter D, 1, 2, and 3? 10 seconds starts now. Okay, math learners. For this question, as you can see, all of the statements are speaking the same idea, right? 400% larger means 4 times as much. Okay, so basically, statement 1 and 2 has the same idea. However, statement number 3, we have here a scale factor of 1 is to 4. That also means that the original is 4 times as much as to the original, the enlarged square picture. So therefore, the three ideas here are all the same. So our final answer should be letter D. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Let's check whether we are correct. Okay, my dear math learners, it is very easy. Of course, for sure, some of you may be asking, sir, how come it become 4 or times 4 as much, in which the side is 6 and it is doubled into 12, right? So, my dear math learners, if you try to imagine, if you have a 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter square, so it means all of the square or all of the sides of the square is 1 centimeter. And if you try to double it, it will become 2 here, and also it will also become 2 here, okay? So that gives you 4 squares of a 1 by 1 square. So it means that it is multiplied by 4. Okay, I hope that explains or that answers your inquiry. Now let's continue, my dear math learners. Which of the following is or are true about proportion? Statement 1, the equality of two ratios. Statement 2, the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means. Is it A, 1 only, B, both 1 and 2, C, 2 only, or D, neither 1 nor 2? Okay, 10 seconds for that question. So we have here, you just choose one of the two, or both the two, or neither of the two. Okay, so my dear math learners, basically we are trying to find the property and the definition of proportion. So what do we mean by proportion? It is the equality of two ratios. So statement number 1 is already correct. However, we also know that by the law of proportion, it says there that in a given proportion A is to B is equal to C is to D, we can say that the two ratios are equal if and only if the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So therefore, statement 2 also justifies the definition of proportion. So therefore, the correct answer here is both 1 and 2. Let's check whether we are correct. Okay, easy, right? Now let's continue. In the figure, triangle ABC is similar to, okay, so this is our figure, my dear math learners. Is it A, triangle BDC, B, triangle DBC, C, triangle CDB, and D, triangle CBD? Okay, my dear math learners, 10 seconds for that question. Basically, as you know, you may be skeptical and, of course, confused that however you name a triangle, it is still the same as long as they are connected with each other. But in terms of similarity, it is very important that when one triangle is named by this kind of way, you must also name the corresponding triangle in terms of that way so that they can be similar. Okay, so let's check here. We have here a triangle ABC. So the focus here is the 53-degree angle, right? Okay. So how do we name the next one? Okay. So of course, since it starts from outside going inside and then its middle point, so in naming this next triangle, you also start from outside going inside then to the middle point. So the final answer could be triangle DBC. So that is letter B. So let's check whether we are correct. Okay, we are correct, my dear math learners. So now let us continue. Given that ABC or triangle ABC is similar to triangle QRS, which side is corresponding to side RS? So this is the one. Okay, which side is corresponding to this side? Okay. Is it A, side QS, B, side AB, C, side AC, or D, side BC? 10 seconds for that question. My dear math learners, just a tip that when you are naming corresponding sides or parts of a triangle, the technique there is the placement. Okay, so if you are naming from this triangle, so the corresponding part there is on the next triangle. Okay, so since they are talking about the base here, the corresponding side of this one is also the base on another triangle. So therefore, the final answer here is side BC, letter D. Let's check whether we are correct. Okay, we are correct, my dear math learner. So now let us continue. Given the same figures, which angle is congruent to angle A? Okay, is it A, angle B, angle Q, C, angle S, or D, angle C? So, same concept that I have shared earlier, my dear math learners, in terms of angles. So, you just check. Okay, so we are talking about angle A here. Okay, where is my arrow? Okay, here. So, here it is, our angle A. So, it is at the top. So, therefore, in naming the corresponding angle for this is the top of the next angle. Okay, so the next triangle. So therefore, this is angle Q. Okay, so our answer is letter B. Okay, I forgot again my time limit. Okay, let's just check. All right, we are correct, my dear math learners. So the answer is angle Q. I hope you are enjoying our review for this session. Next, we will continue. A rectangular garden is 45 feet wide and 70 feet long. On the blueprint, the width is 9 inches. What is the length on the blueprint? Okay. Is it A, 7 inches, B, 12 inches, C, 9 inches, or letter D, 14 inches? So, my dear math learners, the actual and the blueprint is being compared here. So, in the actual, we have 45 is to 70. So, 45 for width, 70 for length. So in the blueprint, it says 9 inches for the width. So if we check this statement, I hope, okay. Now, the 45 becomes 9. So what happened to 45? Why it became 9? Basically, it is divided by 5. Okay, so that is also what we will do in order for us to know the length of the blueprint. Okay, so 70 divided by 5 is, I think the answer is 14. Okay, letter D. Let's check. All right, so my dear math learners, we are correct. Next. Oh, that ends our discussion for today, my dear math learners. I hope you have an enjoyed time in reviewing your lessons for the third quarter examination. This is still your free access YouTube educator, Math Teacher Ash. And always remember, it is fun to learn mathematics if we are together learning. If you have not subscribed yet, I hope you just like this video and subscribe to our channel for you to learn more things about these topics. Thank you so much. God bless and keep safe always.